Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Long time no see. It's been a couple weeks since I was able to film. Around the holidays I started getting really sick. I ended up with a nasty chest and head cold, so I didn't have a voice for about 3 days, which was awesome. Favorite thing ever. So it's January 4th, and I'm finally sitting down to film. I'm so bummed that I missed out on being able to film some fun holiday looks, some fun New Year's Eve tutorials. I had lots of fun things planned, but yeah, that totally didn't happen. So today I figured I'd sit down, do a full face. I have no idea what I'm really going to do. I do want to use, let me get it out here. I want to use my Tati Beauty palette. I'm so excited to use this. It's so beautiful, you guys. Oh, I'll blind you with the mirror. Look at this. Isn't that gorgeous? These shades right here. Oh, that's the Aura. The lighter shade, these are so beautiful. And the glitter on this, I wish the camera could pick it up. It's just stunning. I love it. I've used it a couple of times, but I haven't really got to delve in too deeply with it with being sick and all. So today we're gonna use that. I don't know what else I'm gonna use. I'm just gonna grab as I go, but I figured we get started. I've got a glass of wine because it's Saturday and why not? I hate myself. That was a terrible joke. But the wine is not terrible. It's a Stella grapefruit. I don't remember what it is called, but it's delicious. So yeah, we're gonna get started. So for primer today, I'm looking through my drawer here. I think I'm gonna start and prime under my eyes, and I'm gonna use my Tatcha Silk Canvas Primer. I really love this underneath my eyes. I feel like it really smooths really well. Should we take a drink every time I say the word really? No, kidding. Anyway, you can see I'm almost out of this. I use it like crazy. I need to order more, but I'm really cheap and I don't want to spend the money. And the e.l.f. one is really nice, but I think this one just works better specifically for my under eyes. So I just take a little tiny bit on my ring finger or between my fingers and apply. I just feel like it's so smoothing and hydrating in my wrinkly old lady eyes. Okay, and then for the rest of my face, I'm going to use my Smashbox Photo Finish Oil and Shine Control. I'm going to use this in my T-zone. I don't know how I feel about this yet. I've used it a couple of times and I don't dislike it, but I don't know if it actually does anything to help oil come through or not. And it's like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, so it's not like I'm going to be wearing this very long. So I don't know. I don't know how well it works, but we're gonna use it anyway because I have it. Part of me kind of thinks that primers are a gimmick, but part of me is always hopeful that I'm going to find the one that's just magic. And then for the rest of my face, because I'm extra, I'm going to go in with my Too Faced Hangover RX, which is a hydrating primer, and I'm going to use that on the exterior of my face because this area gets a little more dry. Okay, so now for foundation, I'm going to use the Urban Decay Stay Naked Weightless Liquid Foundation, and this is in the shade 30CP. I really like the packaging on this. It's really sleek. So I'm going to use this, and I'm going to use my Juno & Co. Velvet Sponge. I really like this. I feel like it really mashes the product into my pores, which if you have big pores, you want that so it doesn't look like you have a golf ball for a nose. I think this might be a little bit light for me. In this lighting, in real life it looks pretty good, but in this lighting it might look a little bit light. I usually use a slightly darker shade for filming, but I really want to use this and see how it performs on camera. So if it looks too terribly light, I can always go in and I can darken my face up with some bronzer later. So we're just gonna apply this and go to town. Yeah, it looks a little light, but once I blend it in, it should be fine. Wow. I really need to do my roots. Look how gray I am. Oh my gosh. Well, those are teenager hairs. That's what happens when you have a teenager. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. It's a little bit light, but again, nothing I can't fix with some bronzer later. So for foundation, nope. For concealer, I'm going to go in with the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Hydrate Radiance Concealer, and this is in the shade C7. Again, a little bit light, but it is what it is. I have it, I'm going to use it. For powder, I'm going to use an oldie but a goodie. This is the Too Faced Peach Perfect in Translucent. I love this powder. It's so smoothing and it smells so good. I know a lot of people are really put off by the scent of Too Faced products, but I personally love it. Yeah, it just smells like peach candy and it's delightful. Like one of my favorite candies in the whole wide world is the Trolio peach rings. I love those, and this is what that smell reminds me of. So I'm just going to take my sponge and I'm going to go in and I'm going to smooth everything out, and then I'm going to set it down with powder so I'm not setting any wrinkles. Take a little bit on my sponge. And I hope you can see on camera just how much smoother this side of my face looks than this side. My favorite powder of all time is the Nikia Joy Cosmetics Velvet Blurring Powder, but I'm out, so I need to order more, which makes me sad because I really like that one. Okay, now that that's done, I figure we can move on to warming up the face. And this is, I'm so excited about this. My amazing, wonderful, darling of a man, of a husband, got me the Sigma Professional Premium Brush Kit. It has 15 brushes in this beautiful carrying case. I've already taken them out of the case so that I can use them without fiddling around with it, but oh my gosh. I've never owned Sigma brushes before. I'm so excited to use these. So this is the first time I'm using them on camera or off, just in general. This is the first time I'm using them. So I'm going to start with this. This is the Sigma Large Powder F20 brush. And if you can see, it's wide and kind of flat. So I think it'll really be good to like get into the hollows of my cheeks. And I'm going to go in with my favorite bronzer, which is the Makeup Revolution London Mega Bronzer in the shade 01 Cool. Here we go. First time using my Sigma brush. I'm so excited. Oh my god, that is so soft. That is so soft. It's really dense too. I really like this brush. It's really easy to go a little overboard with the powder on it though, because it's so dense. So I just need to be a little more gentle with it. I don't think I like it for nose contouring though. So I'm going to switch over. I'm going to use the E50 Large Fluff, which is a small fat brush, like me, short and fat. And we're going to use that to contour my nose. Oh, wow. Okay, that lays down a lot of product. So I'm gonna go in with my usual brush. Where is it? My little AOA dollar brush, and I'm gonna use that to fix that nose. Because that was a little intense. Okay, that was a lot intense. Okay, so that was a little much. That's okay. You live, you learn. Everybody makes mistakes. So I'm just gonna go back in with my fluffy brush and finish blending my cheeks. Okay, that's looking pretty good. I do want a little more actual contour though. So I'm gonna go in, I have this little LA Girl blush. It's called Just Because. Excuse me, I'm still getting over this cold, so I'm a little raspy sometimes. And it's this really pretty gray toned blush. I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but I really like this one to carve out a nice contour. So I'm gonna go in with this Sigma F10 powder brush because again, it's nice and small and flat, and I feel like it'll really get in the hollows of my cheeks. I'm gonna go in with my blush, which is not a blush on me, it's a straight up contour shade, but it works really well. And I have glitter on my face. Ignore the glitter. I was touching the Tati palette, and anything else in my house has glitter on it too, so it is what it is. Glitter is my favorite color, so I don't mind. All right, so next I think we'll go in and highlight. And for highlight, I'm gonna use another oldie but a goodie. This is my Becca Opal highlight. You can see it's well loved. I've almost hit pan right there in the center. So this is the highlight brush from the set. This is the Sigma F35 tapered highlighter brush. I don't usually use this type of brush for highlight, but I'm gonna give it a go. All right, highlight is on. Now for some blush. What am I gonna use for blush? I know I've used it a lot lately, but I really am loving this. This is the BH Cosmetics Blushing in Bali highlighter and blush palette. I really like this. It has a lot of really good colors in it, so I've been reaching for it a lot. And I'm gonna go in with this. This is the Tapered Face F25 brush. And I'm gonna use this for my blush. And I think I'm gonna mix the deepest color and the lightest color. Ooh, that picks up a lot, so I'm gonna brush that off. Ugh, hair on my face. That is so soft. Oh my gosh. Oh, that just feels so nice. So for eyes, I'm actually going to start by priming my lids with my Tarte Shape Tape. I haven't used this in a really long time. When I ordered it, I got way too light of a shade, but I've been using it for eyeshadow base lately, and I've been really liking that. So we're going to prime my lids. I mean, you can see how light that is. That is totally not something I can use on my face. Like under my eyes, that would be a disaster. Okay, and then to blend out my base, my concealer, I'm going to use this e.l.f. Sculpting Concealer brush. It's a little triangular brush. It gets into the inner corner really easily. And then I'm just going to take my sponge and I'm just going to dab over that to remove any excess. And then since my sponge had powder on it, it's also going to set the concealer in place so it doesn't crease and move. All right, and now for some line. Oh, that's so good. That is delicious. All right, so for the palette, I've used the browns and I've used the black and I've used this nude shade. I have not, however, gotten into the Poet shade, which is the more pink one. So I think I'm gonna start with that, which is scary, but we're gonna give it a shot. So let's start. We're gonna start with the tapered blending brush. It's the Sigma E35, and I'm gonna go into the shade Poet. Get that on my brush, and let's see how it blends. That brush is so soft. I mean, wow. Like, I love my Morphe brushes, but they're a little scratchy sometimes. This feels like putting on your eyeshadow with a chinchilla. That blends so effortlessly. Oh my gosh. Seriously, I don't think I've ever had an eyeshadow blend that easily. And it's not just the brush, although the brush is wonderful. It blends like that with my ColourPop brushes too. Not ColourPop, with my Morphe brushes. All the shades I've used so far have just blended so beautifully. The formula on these is just unreal. And I usually have problems with skipping where there's little grooves in my eyeshadow right in this area, and there's really not any of that with this. Again, I don't know if it's the brushes or the shadow on this one, because I think the last time I used this palette, it did the same. It did the skipping thing. So I think that might be the brush. So these brushes are just phenomenal. Does anyone else hear the word phenomenal and think of the Sesame Street skit where they do the Mana Mana song? I don't know why, but every time I hear phenomenal, I think Mana Mana, do 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 do, Mana Mana, do 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 do. You know that? Every time. And it kind of annoys me, but at the same time it's funny, so I deal with it. I'm just building up that color, that Poet in the matte shade, until I'm happy with it. That is so pretty. So I'm going to go in with my little color switch. I got this one on Amazon. I know they have them at Sephora and other places. This one I think I paid $6 for on Amazon, something like that. It was really cheap. I don't even know which one it is. I've had it for years. It's starting to fall apart. But I'm just going to clean the excess off my brush. And then I feel like I want to deepen this up a little bit. So I'm actually going to go in with the black shade, which is Memory. And I'm going to go in with the matte black. And I'm just going to use a tiny bit because this is really pigmented. And this is like seriously the best black eyeshadow I've ever used. You see that? I just barely touched my eyelid. I literally barely touched it. And that's how black it is. I literally just dab just the tiniest bit on the end of this brush and it's so black. Go back in with my color switch, clean all the excess off my brush, and then just keep blending. I'm gonna go back in and get a little bit more of that Poet shade, just a little bit, and keep blending that black until it's nice and smooth. So I am getting that skipping right here, but again, I always have that. It's not the fault of the shadow, it's not the fault of the brush. This is seriously the best application of eyeshadow I've had ever. It just is how my eyelids are. So to help fix that, usually what I do is I'll just lift my brow up and in a little bit to kind of stretch that skin, and then I'll blend it. And for some reason, this eyelid does it more than this one. All right, so now I'm going to take another Sigma brush. This is the E25 blending brush. It's nice and flat. And I'm going to use this, and I'm going to go into the Aura shade, which is the lightest matte in the palette. And I'm going to use that to highlight the brow bone and blend out that pink, that purpley color. And I'm not using circular motion so much. I was watching Nikki tutorials, and she does more of like a scratching side to side motion to blend the edges. So I'm trying that out, and we'll see how it works. That is seriously the best blending eyeshadow I've ever used. I want to deepen up the black a little bit more, so I'm going to go in with a really tiny little brush. Where is it? So I'm going to go in with this. This is the Morphe M321. It's a really tiny little pointed blending brush, and I'm going to go in with a tiny bit of that black, just a tiny little dab, and I'm just going to deepen up that outer corner. Like seriously, be really careful. If you have this palette and you have this black, be really careful because it can get out of control really easy. It is so black. And then back in with my E35 and just keep blending. Just keep blending, just keep blending, just keep blending, blending, blending. Sorry, my Dory moment. So now, I haven't figured out what I want to do on the lid yet. I'm trying to think. I don't know if I want to use the, oh, I stuck my nail in it, the glitter Poet shade, which is the more pink shade, or if I want to do black and then smoke that out with the purple. Ooh, that's really tempting. I think that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna use the Memory Sequin shade, which is has little glitter suspended in it, and then over the top of that, I'm gonna go in probably with the matching glitter, but we'll see how it looks when I get to that point. So I need a nice packing brush. Let's see. Actually, I'm just gonna use my finger. So I'm gonna go into the Sequin shade in Memory, which has just beautiful micro glitters in it. And I'm gonna put that on my lid. I'm being really careful to not make a big mess with this. Now I'm going to go in with this really small short shader E20 brush into that same Sequin Memory shade. I'm going to tap off the excess, and I'm going to get my inner corner. Well, not inner corner, but the inner third of my eye. And there is some glitter fallout, but it's really fine. It's not anything that can't be swept away with just a little bit of loose powder. So I'm gonna go back in with the first brush, which is the E35, and a little bit more of that Poet shade to blend out the line between the black and the purple. That is really, really smoky. So then for the glitter, let's see. Do we want to do Poet or do we want to do Memory? I think I'm gonna go with Memory, which is the black glitter. Oh man, that is so beautiful. I love glitter so much. It makes me so happy. And I'm just using my finger to press it into my skin. I'm not swiping, I'm not rubbing, I'm pressing so it sticks. And there's really not a lot of fallout from this particular shade. There's actually more fallout from the one before, which has the micro glitters in it. Oh, that's so pretty. Do the other eye. I'll switch hands because I can't really get my finger in there. That is just, oh, I have no words. I have no words for how pretty that is. I'm going to take that little flat shader brush with that Memory shade of the glitter and just get a tiny bit and just make sure that the inner third of my lid has that glittery, beautiful sparkle all over it. And this glitter almost has like a hint of silver and a little bit of blue. It's not just one-dimensional. It's really, really beautiful. That's just, oh, it's so pretty. So I want to deepen up my crease a little bit. So I'm gonna go back in with that little pencil brush from Morphe and just deepen up that crease. Again, don't worry about any fallout. We're gonna clean that up with some loose powder in a minute. Yeah, that is seriously some of the prettiest eyeshadows I think I've ever used. And I don't think I've worn a black smoky eye, even if it has a hint of color. I don't think I've done a black smoky eye in a really long time. So I'm really loving this. So then I need to do my eyeliner. So today I'm going to use the Maybelline Lasting Drama Waterproof Gel Pencil. Little pencil. I just sharpened it so it's nice and super sharp, so it's going to get in my lashes really easily. So I'm going to tightline my upper and lower lashes. And I'm being really careful not to disturb the glitter. And then before I go in and blend out that, I'm actually going to go in with my Lexi Duo Fiber brush and some more powder. Here's my powder. A little bit more of that loose powder. And I'm going to sweep away all the glitter and fallout that's on my face. All right, so for my bottom lash line, I'm gonna first go in with the black in the palette, that Memory shade, and I'm gonna use a flat definer E15 brush to really get that close to my lower lashes. And then back in with that E20 short shader brush, use my color switch to get any glitter off. And then I'm gonna go in with the Poet shade to smoke that out a little bit. I feel like that's a little harsh, so I'm going to go in with another brush. I'm going to go in with the small tapered blending brush. It's the E45, and I'm going to dip into that Poet shade just a tiny bit, and I'm just going to keep blending until it's nice and soft and smoky. And then I'm going to go in with the E25 blending brush, and I'm just going to keep blending until everything looks the way I want it to. All right, I'm really happy with how that's coming together. So now I need to do some inner corner highlight. So for that, I'm going to take a small flat brush. I'm going to use my Morphe M213 brush. It's this really tiny little flat brush. And I'm going to go into the metallic shade of Aura. And I'm going to pop that in my inner corner. All right, now that I'm happy with the blend, I'm going to go in and I'm going to do just a little bit of liquid eyeliner. This is the Physicians Formula Waterproof Eye Booster. Give it a good shake and just get real close to my lash line. I'm usually a winged eyeliner kind of person, but with this look, I don't feel like it needs a wing because everything's so black and smoky, you're not really going to see it. So I'm just going to keep it close to my lashes so that they look a little thicker. And then for mascara, I'm going to use my Essence Volume Stylist 18-Hour Lash Extension Mascara. This is my current favorite. I don't like wearing false lashes. I really don't. I find them very uncomfortable unless they're individuals, and ain't nobody got time for that. So this is my favorite mascara that makes it look like false lashes without all the pain in the ass of actually wearing them. All right, it is brow time. So for brows, I'm going to use a brow powder today. Let me get it out here. This is the Convertible Brow 02 from the Brow Gal. I've had this for forever. It's probably bad, but I don't care. I love it. I use it anyway. And I'm going to go in with my ancient Coastal Scents angled brush. I've had this. I bought this Coastal Scents brush set when I first started doing freelance makeup artistry. So that has to be 9 years ago. Yeah, it has to be at least 9 years ago. And this is still my favorite brush to do brows with. I've tried a bunch of them, and this is my favorite. I have to tell you, I was getting ready for work yesterday and I was doing my eyebrows and I found a white eyebrow hair, not blonde, white and coarse. And it was like right in this part of my brow right here. So I was really afraid to pluck it out because I don't have a lot of eyebrow hair, so I was really worried that it would be like it would leave a hole. And then it bothered me so much because even when I put brow mascara over it, I could still see it because it was a different texture. So I yanked it out today. So hopefully you can't see where the hole is, but yeah, it was pretty bad. I'm not grown up enough for this much gray hair. I'm just not. All right, and then I'm just going to go in with a spoolie through my brows to make sure there's no spots where there's excess powder clinging. And then I'm going to go in with my Anastasia Beverly Hills brow gel in dark brown. And this is the mini size, but I've had this forever and it's working. It works so well. I've already bought another backup and it's only $9. I mean, it's the same size as something you'd get from NYX or from, you know, any other company. The mini size is pretty much the same size and it's $9. So realistically, it's not that much more expensive than the cheap stuff. And I really like this. It holds my brows in place so well. I haven't found anything yet that I like as much. All right, that's looking pretty good. I'm pretty happy with where we're going. I think all that's left to do is lips, and I don't think I grabbed something for my lips. So give me just a minute. I'm going to take a look. Be right back. All right, so for lips, I've decided I'm going to use my NYX lip liner pencil in the shade Earth Tone. It's number 823. And then my Buxom Matte Sinful Cinnamon lipstick. And then over the top, I'll add a gloss if I feel like the color is a little off. These just happen to be what I have, and I just didn't feel like going and rummaging around for something else. So I'm going to do my lips, and then we'll go from there. So I definitely think this is a little bit more brown than I wanted to go. So I'm going to add my Iconic London gloss in Love Struck. I'm going to add that over the top to kind of lighten it a little bit. All right, I'm pretty happy with that. So I'm going to grab my fan and I'm going to grab my setting spray and we're going to set this in place and call it a day. For setting spray, I'm going to use the Gerard Cosmetics Slay All Day setting spray, and this is the peach scent. I love this stuff. Okay, that's it. So that's my look using just a random mix of products. I really love the Tati Beauty palette. I think it's excellent. If you have a chance to get your hands on it when it comes back into stock, do it. It's so good. I have no regrets on buying it, aside from the fact that I didn't buy it when it launched. And then I hear that she's got another product releasing here soon, like next week, I want to say, that's supposed to revolutionize the beauty industry. So I'm really excited to see what that is. So yeah, thank you guys for joining me. Cheers. And I hope you have a great weekend. Bye.